What is up, people? Matt here. So I've talked about game genres that I really like JRPGs, Western RPGs, action adventure games and the like, but I haven't really ever talked about the genres that I'm not a particular fan of. And I think it's very much a case of a love-hate situation with a lot of genres. For example, I'm not a huge fan of racing games. I'm also not a huge fan of fighting games, with the odd exception. Sport games I'm really not too big into at all. But there are, like as I said, there are exceptions to the rule. Like for sport games, I'm really not a fan of football games, but I don't mind Mario like Strikers. Golf games I've never really played, although I'm interested in playing Mario Golf. Fighting games are another thing. I've played Mortal Kombat 9. I've not played any other Mortal Kombat game. I played Virtua Fighter 5. I have Virtua Fighter 4, but I've not played it. I don't know I suppose the Dragon Ball Z games count as fighters. I've played Raging Blast 1 and 2. They're okay, but I'm not, I wouldn't sit down and play them for hours on end or anything like that. But yeah, as I said, it's a love-hate situation, because there might be one game in the genre you like, but all the other games you don't like. Racing games, Gran Turismo, I could probably sit down and play it and enjoy it, but I wouldn't, because there's other stuff to play. If you know what I mean, you're not going to prioritise a game that you're not, even if you don't necessarily hate the game, you wouldn't prioritise it over a bunch of other games that you want to sit down and play. But yeah, it's a weird one, because I don't think there's anyone that likes every game. I mean, look at genres like point and click games. I think they're very old fashioned, and yes, it's cool to see that they're still going and there's like modern iterations of them. I think a lot of people these days really, they're not invested enough into those sort of games to have any interest in them, because I'd prefer to be in constant control, whereas with a point and click game, you click somewhere and then the character goes there and that's it, and then you click on something when you get there and something else happens. Whereas with a game like Skyrim or Fallout or any other game like that, you're in constant control and you dictate exactly what happens at every point, pretty much. I prefer that. But point and clicks aren't necessarily, they're not bad. I've just not really ever played them. I'm not really interested in them. But if you are interested in them, good for you. It's like that with every genre. I mean, obviously people are die-hard FIFA fans, but I'm really not into it. But if you're into it, good for you. I'm happy that you enjoy it that much. But people need to understand that not everyone likes everything, and it's totally fine. Not everyone can like everything, and opinions do change over time, I'm sure, for stuff. I really wasn't a huge fan of JRPGs up until 2 years ago, say. And then you might play a certain game and it just changes your whole aspect or whole outlook on a certain genre, and it does happen. But yeah, it's interesting. Not a huge fan of sport racing, fighting games, but I don't mind them. Let me know what you think. What genres don't you particularly like, or what are your favourite genres? Anyway, as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.